You're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon. It's 3 o'clock. I'm Will Tyrrell with your Solent Sports News headlines. Southampton FC have put their search for a new manager on hold until Monday. The club are considering standing coach Ruben Sellers for the role after talks with Jesse Marsh broke down. Ben Stansfield from the Total Saints podcast believes not getting Marsh was a disappointment.
And Jesse Marsh was certainly disappointing. I think most fans feel that we need an experienced leader in charge of the squad at the moment if we're to have any chance of staying up. But short term, it's about making sure we stay in the Premier League, however tough that is. But longer term, I don't really think fans have much of an idea on what Sport Republic want to do. So hopefully the summer will bring some clarity, whatever division Saints are in.
Jacob Tanswell from The Athletic is critical of the early choices made by new Southampton ownership.
Sport Republic are under increased scrutiny now because it was their first managerial appointment since taking over in January 2022, and in Nathan Jones, who was co-founder of Sport Republic, Rasmus Ankerson's first choice. He had followed him for a number of years, had talked to him 6 weeks before Ralph Hasenhüttl was sacked. He appointed him, and he should therefore shoulder most of the burden and why it went wrong.
Sellers will take charge for the upcoming Chelsea fixture, and should he get a result, he will most likely be first in line for the job.
This weekend's early kick-off in the Premier League sees Unai Emery host his former club as Aston Villa welcome high-flying Arsenal, who slipped to second in the table following their midweek defeat to Manchester City.
Grealish waiting! Jack Grealish scores! Manchester City take the lead for the second time in the game!
City themselves travel to Nottingham Forest, and whilst they haven't pulled up many trees this season compared to previous years, a win here would help greatly as they look for a 7th Premier League title in 10 seasons. The late kick-off sees Newcastle United host Liverpool, with the Reds looking to record consecutive wins for the first time this year. The Magpies haven't lost at home since they last faced Liverpool at St James's Park in the league in May of 2022. Eddie Howe says that their home form has been pivotal to the success that they've been enjoying.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pivotal. I think your home form always is to how successful your season is. We've enjoyed playing at home.
Elsewhere, the Bees will be looking to sting the Eagles as Brentford host Crystal Palace, whilst Marco Silva's Fulham look to swoop and steal the points in Brighton as they face Roberto De Zerbi's high-flying Seagulls. Everton versus Leeds gives Sean Dyche another chance to pick up points, this time against managerless opposition, as he looks to guide the Toffees away from a sticky situation at the bottom of the table. Bournemouth have struggled of late, and the Cherries will be hoping their trip to the Midlands to face Wolves bears fruit in the form of 3 vital points. Sunday sees Manchester United, fresh from a 2-2 draw with Barcelona, welcome Leicester, who will be looking to build on a great win against Spurs.
Cleared as far as Mendy! Oh wow! What a hit!
And speaking of Spurs, they'll be going hammer and tong against the Irons in this weekend's final clash, a huge London derby versus West Ham, who play against capital opposition for the second weekend on the bounce. Who knows what's in store exactly, but one thing's for sure, it's set to be another cracking weekend of Premier League action.
That was our very own Dylan Shavas with his Premier League roundup. Thanks for that, Dylan. Now on the phone, we have another one of our journalists, Dan George, who has been covering Arsenal today. Dan, you were at the press conference today. What did you make of Arteta's comments about these scheduling issues?
Absolutely, Will. Thank you very much. It was a bit of a strange situation. Mikel Arteta was very critical in some ways of the scheduling. Arsenal obviously playing late on Wednesday and being the early kickoff on Saturday away at Aston Villa. So it's a bit strange. He seemed very understanding that there's nothing he can really do of the situation. Arsenal will go to this game, and he just said there's nothing we can do about the situation. So seemed very understanding of that. But it was interesting, I thought, because he brought this topic up during one of the Premier League manager meetings, he said. So it's an issue that is ongoing and they're talking to the Premier League about, but in this case there's nothing that can be done about it.
Brilliant, Dan. Thank you very much for that. Now on to Manchester United. Investors linked with the Qatari royal family will bid to buy the club today. The Rain Group, who are organising the sale on behalf of the Glazer family, have asked for initial bids to be made by 10 p.m. UK time. Journalist Kaveh Sakahal believes that an agreement for the takeover is likely to be found shortly.
They don't normally lose out when they want something. And if they've decided that they want Manchester United, I think they will go all out to get it. The only point I would make is, all along we've been told that they will not overpay.
A Tottenham Hotspur supporter has admitted to kicking Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale during the North London derby last month. 35-year-old Joseph Watts pleaded guilty to assault against the England international. We are joined in the studio by journalist Dan Perry. Dan, what have you made of this news today?
Well, I was actually at the game in the same stand as the fan. I watched him do it with my own eyes. Aaron Ramsdale is a wind-up. Yeah, he gets on a lot of fans' nerves, and obviously all Spurs fans were annoyed on that day. We'd just been beat by our arch-rivals. But there is no reason to jump onto the playing field and kick the player, and I think he deserves what he's got.
Brilliant, thank you very much for that, Dan. Now on to some more local news. Solent University's football first team have won the Bucks Western 2A division. An early penalty from striker Alfie Hagger secured all 3 points against Bath and ensured 2 promotions in 2 years. Manager Sammy Lander says he is delighted with his team's performances this season.
I can't fault any of the lads, the ones that have come in for the last couple of games or the ones that have been there from my first minute have all been fantastic. And, days like Wednesday make it worth it, when Sunday.
Mercedes have revealed their new car ahead of the 2023 Formula 1 season with a return to their all-black colour scheme. The return to this style comes as a way of saving weight as the team saves on paint and leaves exposed carbon fibre on show. Mercedes driver George Russell is optimistic about getting back to winning ways.
Every single person in this team wants to win, and what I'm sure is that we've gone for it, and we can be proud to say that we think we've done the best possible with the knowledge we had.
That's all from us for now. We'll be back in an hour. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website, solentjournalism.co.uk.
Across the South Coast, live from Solent University, you're listening to Solent Sports News.